everyone, today's video is going to be kind of like a shade showcases video. I will leave my entire shade showcases playlist down below. It's kind of where I go through my collection and kind of find palettes or palettes with individual shades that kind of go in one category. So I have done like neutrals, blues, stuff like that, and I'll leave that playlist link down below. What's exciting is this video is in collaboration with my friend DW. I will leave DW's channel and her Instagram down below. I love DW with my entire heart, and she is like my go-to person to talk to every day. And I love and appreciate her so much. We have done other collabs in the past, and I will leave my entire collaborations playlist link down below. But DW is definitely like my favorite person on earth, and I'm very happy and excited that we get to collab today. I got this video idea because it is March, and you know, I'm thinking a lot of people are going to be doing videos about great eyeshadow, things of that nature. I wanted to take like St. Patrick's Day in a different direction and kind of do like my lucky pot of gold. Unfortunately, I have to say the day that I'm filming this is when the beauty community has lost a very lovely person. Much love to Brittany and her family. And the fact that we lost her today makes me so incredibly sad. And I'm going to try not to cry, but this is going to be all of my gold eyeshadows. I'm going to start with the first palette that I actually bought from Brittany's Mercari. So that is my Lure from Unearthly. I did buy this off her Mercari, so this is going to have this special place in my heart. And the gold shade that I am going to be swatching here today is the shade Serpent. I'm very glad that I have this palette. I'm very glad I was able to support her in some way, shape, or form. At this time, I don't know of any way to support the family. I wonder if a brand or something is going to do something for the family. I really want this video to be a very lighthearted video, but unfortunately that did happen today. And like now my heart is heavy, but I like put on gold makeup today and I'm wearing my green shirt, and like I was planning on making this video today. It's just heavy in my heart for her and her family, and I just want to get through the video. So a little sad, but we'll get through it. But this is the first gold color that comes from my Lure palette. I also want to say I do have 10 different golds, 10 different palettes in here. I do not have a palette specifically for gold. Then I also teetered on, is stuff just a yellow shimmer? Because that also is a very good contender, but yellow shimmers and golds I feel are different. And then you have the other spectrum. Is it a little too orange, or is it a bronze? Because I feel like bronzes and golds kind of intermix a little bit. I'm personally trying to find true golds in my collection. Is this a true gold? I'm not so sure, because it does have a very apparent like green flip to it. But I definitely wanted to talk about this palette and at least showcase it at some point in this video. For Brittany, I do have it. I'm very glad that I have it, and this shade is a little bronzy, but this shade I think is gold enough. Of course, it wouldn't be a gold eyeshadow video without me talking about the Golden Ratio palette from M81. M81 is a very small indie brand that focuses more on like science, math, STEM related topics, and I think the overall theme of the brand is amazing. This was their first ever palette. It's a nice little 6-pan. And actually, the gold shade I'm talking about today is my least favorite shade in the entire palette. I just don't like gold. I really don't. I don't really like gold. Hope you guys like understand that gold is not a favorite color of mine whatsoever. I rarely wear it, but like this is like the most perfect gold ever. It is so pretty, and it just like is a really nice formula. And I really like other shimmers in this palette better, but this is such a good gold. The goal for you as a watcher is, while I am showing you all the palettes, try and guess the palette I'm wearing today without looking at Instagram. Can't do that. But what palette do you think I'm wearing today? What gold do you think I'm wearing today? I'll reveal it at the end. The next palette I have is the TooFaced Italian Spritz palette. This is a really nice palette, and like I automatically thought of this palette when I thought of gold because I went to this gold shade. There was some palettes where I thought about and I went and looked at them and I'm like, yeah, that is bronze, or That's just a yellow shimmer. This is like teetering on the edge. It is certainly, I don't know if you can tell in the swatches, it is not as sparkly. It is a Too Faced shimmer. It is like a true metallic, but at least it catches the light. It doesn't have all the shimmers and stuff, but it definitely is really, really pretty. I hope I have enough arm room. This is a sweater and I can't bring it up that much. But I really do like this palette. I really like the Too Faced formula, and especially in terms of the mattes. The mattes are gorgeous. It is a thicker shimmer, and it is like a metallic, but this is definitely gold. This is one I was kind of like teetering on. Is it actually gold? I'm putting in my Natasha Denona Yucca palette, and I don't know. There's nothing in here that screams gold. I really am thinking about this color right here. It is one of those like special shades, like special golds. I really hope you guys can see what I mean. It's leaning towards a rose gold, but I think it's gold enough to be considered in this video. And I honestly almost couldn't get to 10 palettes. And I mean, I really like that shade. There's definitely some golds I like better than others. I do prefer more of a lighter gold, something especially like this, whereas some of these other golds are going to be a little bit darker, a little bit of a darker base, and I'm not the biggest fan of them, but that one's a really nice gold. I think this is a really solid palette, and it just has a lot of options, and that shade is Plantasia. It is stunning. This is my Juvia's Place Culture palette. It is big, it is in charge, and this has a lot of different colors, but there is a gold in here. I pulled out my like Morphe palette that's up there. There is definitely some shades that could pull gold. But I felt like they teetered more on a yellow or they teetered more on a bronze. But for some reason I thought like this gold is gold enough for the video. Again, it's leaning like slightly rose goldy, especially in comparison with some of these other golds. But I just think it is so pretty. It does have a nice little sheen to it. Juvia's Place has a lovely formula. Do not let their price point like dictate your thoughts of their quality. They are beautiful shades, and I really do like the shimmer, and it applies very nicely on the lid like all of these shimmers pretty much do. And I think they're so nice. I think they're so nice. This one is technically like a glitter. So I did pull out my Colourpop Bratz palette, and I did immediately think of this as well when I thought gold. For the last two New Year's Eve like parties we have done, I have used this gold all over the lid, you know, because it's like black and gold or is the color schemes for New Year's Eve. So this is the shade I always think of when I go to gold. And is it a gold? Probably not. It's a little bit more on the champagne-y side, especially in comparison to some of these other golds. But I just think it definitely looks gold on the eyes. It's a really nice formula. Colourpop, like the newer formula for their glitters, I think is really amazing. And I overall really love this palette. You guys know that. And I'm just really impressed with the formula of this and like the tone. I really like the tone of this gold because it's not too gold. It wouldn't be a gold video unless I pulled out my Mocha Moment palette from Gourmand Girls. I have said before that the two golds in here are a little too similar to each other. There's also this shade which looks like pink to you. I can't show in the mirror because there's dang hot chocolate there, but I don't know if you can tell. It does look like a greenish gold when I'm looking at it. So this first one is the Biscotti with Mocha, and the second one is going to be Churro with Mocha. But like these borderline, I don't know, looking at them with all the others, and there's like sparkles going everywhere. When these are swatched up against all these other golds, they look very bronzy. But in the palette and on the eyes, I think they do pull very gold. And so that's why I put them in this video. But there has been multiple other palettes in my collection where the gold was just not gold enough. So I did not include them. This little palette is old, and I'm really glad that it is my collection. And this is something that has like been in my collection for a long time. It has survived a lot of declutters. Still very good formula, and it is my Colourpop Cabana Club. I miss when they did like this size of palettes, had fun themes that weren't IP collabs. Like, and then they had like really nice color stories. Like, you have color for the colorful people, but then you also have neutrals for the neutral people. And they have this shade called Limelight, and it is just like a perfect gold for me. I do prefer a lighter gold. They don't swatch as good anymore, but on the eyes they are good. And like, you can barely see it, but it is right here. I hope you guys can tell. I really should have done it on my wrist or something, whatever. But this is the gold shade. It is not very intense. It is like a basic metallic. Like, it's not gonna be anywhere near as sheeny, shifty as all these other ones. But Colourpop's like formula, like this is the OG formula. Like, it has a punch to it when it's on your eyes. And these palettes are getting older. Like, they may eventually be in a chopping block just based off of age. Like, does it need to be in my collection? Is the formula still maintaining? Things of that nature. But I mean, I honestly think this is still a really good palette, even though the shimmer looks a little lackluster, especially in comparison with all of this other really sparkly, shifty sort of shades we see, because I did do a lot of indie branded palettes, and I still have some indie brand palettes to continue on. So this one probably doesn't stack up to the other ones, but I still think this is a very valid palette, and I still think it's a very good color. I also thought of this palette when I thought of gold. It is my Nomad Route 66 palette. I did get this in PR from Nomad last year, my one and only time of getting PR. This has a lot of fun shades, and I do like the inclusion of all the color, and then I like the inclusion, what I would consider neutrals. I mean, they're peachy shades, but in my brain, like a pinky peach is a neutral. This is the color that is calling my name here. It is Comet 2, and it is such a nice color. Is that the shade that people were having issues with breaking or something in their palettes? I don't remember which palette it was, and I don't remember what shade it was, but there was people that had some issues with their shades coming broken, but mine is not broken. This is another one that is very, very close to bronze, but every time that I have worn it on the eyes, like, you can see it definitely shines in the light, but like, I look at it, this is gold to me, and every time that I have used the shade, it has been like gold. So I don't know, threw it in this video. Although it does look a little bit more bronzy, especially in comparison to some of these other colors, but golds come in many shapes and forms. The last palette that I have to talk to you today is my Cosmic Brushes Serenity palette. Now, this is very blue heavy, green heavy, purple heavy, and like, looking at it, you're like, oh, not a gold in there. Yes, there is. It's peeking right here. This looks beautiful with the greens, and it looks so striking when you pop it with purple. Every time I think of a purple and gold look, I think of royalty, because those are the colors they tend to have back in the olden times. Like, purple and gold just reminds me of royalty, and I honestly really should bring this palette out and do a purple and gold look. That honestly sounds really awesome. But this is the shade Odyssey. This shade is extremely, extremely buttery. It has amazing pigmentation. It has such a nice sheen on it. I almost brought out my neutrals palette. There is a gold-like color in there, but it teetered too far in one direction than the other. But that's a stunning color. Let me show you the neutrals palette here, because like, look at this. Like, that is a gold. Maybe I should have brought this out. Again, very, very buttery formula. But to me, that just looks like copper. That's another thing. Is it too copper? Like, this just looks way too copper. Well, maybe this looks like copper. I don't know. This did not scream gold to me. What's your thoughts? Like, what do you consider gold? I mean, those Cosmic Brushes palettes are stunning and beautiful. And then this is my arm of golds. So stunning. I mean, then there's that one from Cosmic Brushes, the Neutrals palette. But I thought about Nomads, America's Parks. I'm like, surely there's gold in there. There's bronzes, and then there's that yellow shimmer. Yellow shimmer is not acceptable in this video. Only golds are allowed. Do you think I found the golds in my collection? There's definitely quite a few golds for someone who doesn't really wear gold and doesn't really like gold. If I had time in this video, I would certainly have done a filming me get ready with this morning with the palette that I chose. But the palette I am wearing today, if you did not look at my Instagram, were you correct? It was my Juvia's Place Culture palette. I am wearing this today, and I honestly really want to use this more now that I have it out, but I really stayed in these two rows. So this is the eye look today. It's just some greens, there's some neutrals in there, and then of course the gold that I showcased all over the lid. So first thing, I used this in the crease, mixed a little bit of the green just for a little murky vibe. I don't know, I was going for a murky green vibe, so that's in there. I used this dark brown and then a little bit of this dark green on my outer corner. This brown is on my lower lash line, trying to pull in a little bit more of that neutral. And then all over my lid is going to be this gold color, and it is in my inner corner. Oh, another palette I thought of is my Lorac Fairy Tale Forest. I'm like, surely there's gold. Too bronzy. Like, there are definitely palettes where I'm thinking there's definitely a gold in there. But I swatched them out, especially on my hand here, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that's a little too bronzy. It didn't work out. It just did not flow with the rest of the rhythm. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you check out DW's channel and her video. I will leave her channel link down below again. Send love to Brittany's family as well. I'm very glad to sit here today and be able to talk about gold eyeshadow. We all take the little things for granted. I love and appreciate you all so much. I'll leave anything and everything in the description box. I just want to tell you guys how much I love and appreciate all of you guys for being here and supporting me on my YouTube journey, and I shall see you all next time.